Today is a super exciting day for the Del Sol. We're gonna do the first of the aero mods, and the first thing to really make this car actually look good and kind of cool from the outside. Obviously we've done all the suspension, but you can't really see that, and even the interior, you still can't really see it. But today we're gonna make some big changes to the whole rear end of this car. So in this box here, we have this wing. I believe this is a Mugen wing that normally goes on 8th gen Civics, 8th gen sedans, but it should fit perfectly on the Del Sol. I have always wanted a car where I can put a big wing on it, and that's one of the reasons why I bought the Del Sol rather than like an EG hatch. And the other thing we've got for the rear is this subframe brace. If you remember on the EP3 a long time ago, we did lower control arms and the Progress rear sway bar with the subframe brace, and then we did a cut bumper, and that was one of my favorite mods. I think it looked super cool, showing off all the suspension, and so we're gonna do that. We already have the lower control arms in there because we already did all the suspension. All we need to do is add the subframe brace, cut the bumper, and then add the big wing to make it even better. So the first thing we've got to do is prep this wing and paint it. So with this wing, I'm not going to do anything crazy, just sand it down. But one thing we do have to do is get rid of these little edges from when it was made. I don't know if you can see it there. There's kind of the edges from the mold, I guess. So I think we're going to file that down and then just sand the rest of the wing. All right, while that dries, we'll go put on the subframe brace and kind of keep coming back to this to give it more layers. All right, so we got to look at what's going on under here right now. We have a Progress rear sway bar, but this is a kind of a Honda universal kit, so it doesn't actually mount to the lower control arms, it mounts to the lower shock bolts. And this kit doesn't come with a subframe brace, which is kind of the whole reason I ordered it. I really like the Progress subframe brace, and so I just knew I had to order a subframe brace. So I got one from eBay. And pretty much I'm just hoping that we can make it work with this Progress kit. So first we kind of got to take off what we've already done there, throw this one in there, and then see if we can make it bolt up. Alright, so now we'll see if we can line this thing up just using the brackets here. It's pretty close, but it's definitely off. So looking at the blocks that it came with, if we were to mount this properly, this would go behind here and then sit on the subframe there. And we wouldn't actually be able to mount the sway bar. So in order to mount the sway bar, I think I'm gonna have to keep these brackets that the kit came with, and I'm going to drill new holes right here to be able to just mount this bar to the bracket and then put the sway bar on top of it. So just like we did with the EP3 back in the day, we're gonna cut the bumper. This car, also like the EP3, kind of comes with this diffuser looking piece that actually gives us a perfect line to cut. Now it's possible in the future I'm gonna go for a more aggressive bumper cut, maybe up here, flat all the way across. But right now we're just gonna start with this piece here. When we do that, that's obviously gonna make the suspension a lot more visible, but it's also gonna make this muffler a lot more visible. And this thing isn't even the stock muffler. I think this is off of an Integra. And obviously it's really, really ugly. Eventually I'll get a real exhaust to get rid of this, but I'm thinking I might just take it off for right now. Alright, here it is. Alright, so there's the cut bumper. As you can see, muffler is super ugly. I tried to unbolt it. I think we're just going to end up cutting it off. Then we're going to spray paint this black, tow hook red, try to clean up the bumper a little bit. And then that'll be the cut bumper all done. Alright, the cut bumper's done, everything is painted. So now it's time to move on to the wing. We're going to take off the stock one, assemble the other wing, measure out the holes that we have to drill it, and then mount it. Alright, there it is. The subframe brace, cut bumper, and the wing. I'm gonna be honest, other than an engine swap, and I'm talking like a K24, not another D series, I don't think anything is gonna top this combo that we got going on back here in the rear for how much I like the mod. Even on the EP3, my favorite mod was the cut bumper, the lower control arms, and that almost went hand in hand with the K24 swap that we did on that car. And this is easily one of my favorite things, and we did it bigger and better with the wing.